And he's been another key factor for why the Cairns Taipans are in that contention for a top 4 finish. And 10 points a game, but it's the efficiency at which he does it. 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. Pulls in 4 boards a game, all in 24 minutes. Just needs a little work on the free throws. Only at 73%, so not far off that 50-40-90. Which is a rare feat.
So 6 unanswered points from the Taipans here. Adelaide desperate for a bucket. Game Franks off the mark. None of 4 from the field so far. Scott looking to push the tempo here. Now Wardenberg. Hogue working on Cleveland. Good battle there. Now Scott once more. Well, the 3 ball hasn't been working for him of late and continues to elude him at the moment. He's 1 of 17 from deep in his last 3 games as Mitch McCarron rushes to the hoop to open his account.
And a little settler. They're the ones you like to get when just struggling from the field. 1 of 7 before that one. Pick up something cheap in transition and another opportunity.
Oh, nice finish upstairs. Wanted a foul as well, Cleveland. McCarron's quick release pass, though, got it done.
Easy baskets. That's what Adelaide needs. Easy baskets. And that's what Drimming was bringing to this team before he got injured. Easy baskets.
Well, that's an easy one, too. They're trying to get up and in on the defense, and that time it was well read. A little back cut. That'll make you think about getting too high up in those passing lanes.
They roll it down low. Franks, that's like an offensive foul, and it's going to be called on Robert Franks.
All day long.
We got away with one earlier on, I thought, down low on Pinder. There's the transition that we see. I don't know whether there was a lot of contact there. Cleveland wanted it. But down low, he attempted fake because he, like I said, he missed the shot, but he got away with a push on Pinder early on. And that one there was pretty obvious, just rolled him over. It's right in the middle of the chest.
Reckon they got it right.
So Franks and Cleveland with a foul apiece. Cairns yet to commit. Tashir McCall checks into the game along with Jonah Antonio. Scott Wardenberg go to the bench. Patient here at the offensive end, the Taipans. 5 on the shot clock. Now Hinder working on Soto, who's checked into the game. McCall fires from deep, knocks down the 3.
Well, that'll do his confidence the world of good as well. And coming off a good game, 18 points against the Kings.
McCall look away pass. Antonio steps inside. Marshall feeds Pinder for the throwdown.
Don't they share that ball? They move that ball around, get the next best shot.
Well,
and that's why they're playing like they're playing.
Well, they certainly do. And that one, though, you've got to sit down and guard the ball. That was a straight line drive into the paint. Help had to come. Puts a whole lot of pressure on your rotation defense if you can penetrate that easily.
Taipans by 7. There is some familiarity for Robert Franks with his Cairns Taipans lineup, Tashir McCall and DJ Ho, because between the 3 of them, they were all part of the Lakeland Magic G League Championship run in 2021, played in the hub at Disneyland. Franks led this team in scoring, and McCall and Hogue certainly had their bit to play as well.
Well, what a combination. Just good length. They can knock down the 3 ball, and you'd love that. Imagine that, those 3 combining on an NBL team. Wouldn't be too shabby.
High quality from Hogue and McCall there, and Robert Franks also leading them. And Tashir McCall, he was Defensive Player of the Year, runner-up in that season as well when they won the title. But Robert Franks at the moment with his problems, none of 4 from the field, none of 2 from deep. Picked up a foul. He's turned it over, and just not the start that he was after, given he's been in such good form coming off a game-high 21 and 8 in Perth on Thursday night.
Joey, what are some of the fixes you can use for a slow start? Because the last 4 or 5 games at home, it's been slow for Adelaide.
Well, it is, and it's not just a one-off now. And even this one, almost played the 5 minutes, only got the 6 points, 3 of 9 from the field. And there just seems to be a little anxiety. Some of the shot selection here has been less than ideal. They're tough shots, and haven't seen it get through a whole stack of hands and really try and loosen up the defense. It's just everyone's in that attack mode very early on, and I like the timeout that CJ just had to try and slow things down. But to me, it's odd that this Adelaide team, when you see them on the road, they've been fantastic, but at home, they're just a different team.
They get the offensive rebound off the missed free throw, which is off the mark. So Adelaide none of 4 from deep. Cairns 1 of 5. Here's Pinder exploring. Nice offensive rebound there for Antonio to keep it alive for the Taipans. They lead by 6, 4.5 minutes left in this opening quarter. Being exceptional on the road this season, and Pinder from close range thought he was fouled, couldn't get a whistle. McCarron pushing the issue. Franks outside Detch. They break the 3-point drought there, the 36ers.
It just seems like they're shooting a lot of threes.
Detch has added that to his game. He's been mostly regarded, and rightly so, for his defense, but he's worked so hard on his offense, and there's a good drive, another attacking play early in the offense, and to the line, and going to work his way to the free throw line. But here's Detch. Good find by Franks. Cross court, plenty of time. Knocks it down. 41% on the season for Sunday Detch. And that's a good-looking stroke.
So Adelaide closed the gap here. They were down 7. They've scored the last 4. And a chance for Cleveland from the free throw line. 78% free throw shooter this season, 28 of 36. But that was off out of the hand.
No, that was way off.
So almost uncharted territory here for the Taipans. Cairns at 5-0 when they trail at quarter time. And only 1-4 when they lead. So it's not their MO. But inside 4 minutes remaining in this opening term. And made the better start of this. Wardenberg turnaround couldn't hit the target. And now Cleveland decides to go solo. It's dawdled up the floor. Couldn't connect though. So Adelaide 1 of 6 from long range. And 3 of 6 inside the line.
Goaltend.
Going the goaltend.
Can you have too many scorers on the team? Or too many scorers in your starting 5?
Not if you're prepared to share it round. And that last one by Cleveland. Now, I know he's made his first couple come down, but that's just a no-pass offense. And that's a poor attempt at an alley-oop. I don't know why it's so hard to throw that pass. Just throw it like you're trying to miss the shot. Let the big fella go get it.
You had a lot of practice with that one, didn't you?
I know. You just didn't appreciate how good I made you look.
At the moment, Cairns are making this look pretty good. They're out to a 7-point lead, a little over 3 minutes out from quarter time. Adelaide with their woes at the offensive end, 4 of 12 at 33%. Try and get Soto involved from close range. He can't handle the pass. Adelaide turn it over for the 4th time.
That's Kai Soto. There's a guy, what is he, Case 213, something of that size range, and knocks that down. But there's just no continuity, no flow to the offense. It's all individual action.
And forcing things,
by the Adelaide 36ers. And again, that's usually signs of just a little anxiety. The intent is great, trying to take matters in your own hand. But sometimes, oh, hello, there's a nice spin move on the young fella. Down low. And gets to the rim for an easy 2.
9-point margin for Cairns. They've scored the last 6 here. Adelaide, just 10 points in the quarter so far. Sunday Detch comes up empty. Ball knocked down out of court.
But again, Case, that's a no-pass offense. Coming down against an established defense. They're in the lanes and just relying on the penetration. And there's a guy that, well, I'd say one of the all-time great bank shooters in the history of the
Probably
NBL.
the best. Probably the best.
Rupert Sapwell. He'd knocked down the bank shot intentionally from the 3-point line.
2 on the shot clock. Sunday Detch comes up empty. Again, it was solo stuff. And a chance now for the Taipans to move this margin into double digits. They've scored the last 6. Shannon Scott shares it now. Bull Quoll has already hit from deep. Hits again, and it's a 12-point lead for the Taipans. Well, this is a familiar script for the Adelaide 36ers fans at home this season. Blown out of the water by Tasmania and New Zealand. And Perth after that.
He taps it, then you keep it up, and then repeat your dribble.
Correct. I think he's right. Well, it happened quick, but he did cause the fumble. Then he dribbled and then went to the other hand over the top and looked like a double dribble. A little late call, but it seemed like it was there.
Still like Adelaide's identity. I don't know who the go-to guys are. That's when I say having too many guys shoot the ball. Anybody can shoot at any point, any time. And when you're struggling like this, you should have a go-to guy, and they don't have him.
Well, they got Robert Franks. He'd be one of your go-to guys for sure. And Cleveland. That's how you get it to him, I guess. But have a look at this. 50K on the line, Case.
Yes, thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. Majuk Deng, the former 36er, goes to the free throw line and silences the crowd pretty quickly. Majuk Deng, 80% free throw shooter this season, 12 of 15 coming into this game. He's a great contributor for the 36ers as well.
Not playing as many minutes as he did last year, but he still contributes. You're right.
Majuk Deng is playing 19 minutes on average this season, but this margin is now out to 14. They've scored the last 11 points here. The Cairns Taipans, and Adelaide are wondering where their next bucket is coming from. Maybe they'll get it from Kyron Galloway, but he can't convert. Now 1 of 7 from long range.
Again, it's a one and done. They're shooting it really quickly in their offensive sets.
And the foul going to be called here on Nick Marshall, his first personal.
And Kieran Galloway, we've seen that he has the ability to knock down that shot, but the very first time down the floor, he's only been in the game less than a minute, I think it was, and he lets it fly from the three-point line. Nick Marshall there with the reach in. And just a real poor start. 26%, 4 of 15 to go with 5 turnovers. It's not a good combination.
And interestingly, Andrew, at home, Adelaide average 80 points a game, 9th in the competition. They go on the road. They're the highest scoring team. They're 93. They average 13 extra points on the road than they do at home. And as I mentioned, they started terribly with their biggest home loss in 7 years against Tasmania in round 1. As Tajir McCall again just teasing the fans there with the free throws. And Hiram Harris into the game here, and pressure up the floor, and Adelaide are struggling with it at the moment. They get it across halfway. Kyron Galloway muscles up and opens his scoring account and snaps the drought. That was a 12-0 run that Cairns were enjoying. As we count down the last 60 seconds of an opening quarter that has been largely played on Cairns terms. So going to be over the limit in terms of fouls now, as Harris becomes the 5th Adelaide player to pick up a foul.
Yeah, he was just digging in, trying to help his teammate on the box, and got the hands and flipped Majuk Deng across the face. Not a lot in it, but anytime you give it a little slap on the face, it's hard for the officials to ignore that.
When the question was asked, should Adelaide be looking at another import case?
They need another one by the looks of what they've served up here.
Well,
and there's been some names thrown around.
Well, there has, and it just right now another import's not the personnel hasn't been their problem in this one. It's been style of play, and what they've been doing on the offensive end has just been poor.
So Franks has been quiet, none of 4 from the field. He's gone into his offensive shell a little. This is Galloway stepping inside Shannon Scott. Now Franks. And they get it back to Galloway, who fires unsuccessfully. Good job on the boards there from Wardenberg to keep it alive. Now Shannon Scott. Adelaide 1 of 8 from long range. There's McCall. Hands over to Majuk Deng. He wheels to the top of the key. Can't get it to go. Daniel Johnson grabs the rebound. Daniel Johnson's only taken the one shot so far in the game. Perhaps he's a player that they can try and get into the offensive and set a little more.
I'd love to see him post up, get the ball inside. Now, he might double, but he will pass the ball. So,
well, they've taken 17 shots, Copes, and he's taken one. Now, that's not the balance that they need.
Absolutely right.
Well, it's when you don't pass the ball, it's a no-pass offense or a one-pass offense. It's hard. The last time down, they did throw it in there, and you could see it was a crowd around.
Wardenberg gets it inside ditch. All deflected. Now scramble for it. Last play of the opening quarter. It trickles out of court. So Cairns will get it back here. We'll just look at the clock. Adam Ford going crazy in the background, just trying to get the attention of his team. So they'll readjust the clock here and work on that. And they can't believe it. 0.6. So Cairns up 15. Last play of the opening quarter. And they got it off quickly but unsuccessfully. So quarter time arrives here, and the Adelaide 36ers have dug themselves a big hole again at home. Quarter time, Cairns 27, Adelaide 12. More Hungry Jack's NBL for you right after this. Big weekend in Adelaide. The 36ers on show here tonight. The Adelaide 500 through the streets of Adelaide as well. And the first quarter, though, has been dominated by the Cairns Taipans. Super impressive start from them. 7 scorers, a 15-point lead against a listless Adelaide 36ers.
Well, they couldn't match them offensively, and defensively they were just as bad. 5 of 17, 29% from the field to go with 7 turnovers, as opposed to 47% from the field and 1 turnover. And a lot of standing around. Little elbow ISO ball again.
Franks is now none of 5 from the field. Good work there from Harris. Read the pass well to defuse the situation. Adelaide will get it.
Well, the omens aren't great for Adelaide. I think you might have mentioned, Case, the last Adelaide's 4 home games, the team leading at quarter time went on to win the game every time. So they need to What is Kyron Galloway doing other than coming in? Now, this might be his role that CJ's built for him, but there's always context to what you're doing. He's come in.
And timing.
He's 1 of 4, 0 of 3. He's out there just blazing away from the three-point line. Now, like I said, that might be his role, but when it's 12 to 27 and you need to get that scoreboard ticking over, I'm not sure, to Copes' point, whether he should be the go-to man right now.
Interesting lineup, but full credit to Cairns here, getting it done. Juk Deng puts it on the deck against Galloway. Found some room in the paint. Can't convert, though. McCarron with it now for Adelaide. Well, with problems in a trap. Did he step out of court? Oh, he's done enough to keep it.
The ball is not controlled yet. Adam, the ball is not controlled yet. So I can't control.
Adam Ford wanting a travel in that double team. Thought that McCarron was hopped, but the official said, well, he hadn't had control, and there's a backcourt violation, I think. Needed that inbounds pass just to be advanced over the centre line. And again, this is just game awareness stuff.
8 turnovers for Adelaide. They average 14 turnovers a game, which is not good. And they've got 8 here already. A little over a minute played in the second quarter. Now Shannon Scott hands over now to DJ Hogue. Still looking for his first points as well. And he gets down to the baseline, feeds Antonio, who knocks down another triple.
Well, he's a reliable shooter. Now, when you talk about someone who has that role, he has got the ultra green light. So 40, it's about, well, when do you use him, when you put in games to exploit that? And he's been rewarding him. He is a floor spreader.
Let's go courtside to Erin Phillips.
Yeah, guys, in that quarter-time timeout, Coach CJ Bruton, he was talking about the energy that the Adelaide needed to keep playing with. It just wasn't there, but I'm sitting right next to the Cairns bench, and I can just tell you that they have tripled the energy. They're up and about. They're loving how they're playing because they're playing with purpose, which is something Adelaide is not at the moment, guys.
Great call, absolutely.
But Aaron, I mean, energy is important. We all know that. If you don't have that, that's got to be there at this level, night in, night out. But there's a bit of basketball IQ that the way they're playing and going about it, particularly on the offensive end, good luck scouting him other than try and keep someone in front of you, because all they're doing is just very individual, not a lot of continuity. Ball doesn't go from side to side, and in that first quarter really went more than 2 passes.
So Adelaide get their first points of this second quarter from the free throw line, thanks to Hiram Harris. But they trail by 16. Pinder hands over. Antonio, quick release again, this time off the mark, and McCarron grabs the board. Wants to go to Cleveland, who's busily up the floor, greeted by Hogue. So now they'll reset. McCarron decides to fire from the elbow.
Everything's one-on-one.
Can't connect. And now Shannon Scott with McCarron on the retreat. Feeds Pinder, who goes inside, takes them on, and draws a foul.
Well, that's what you see when you've got a 5-man that can put it to the deck. We saw him in transition. He missed it in the first quarter, but went coast to coast, and now catches it beyond the three-point line, and the quick rip to the basket, and finds his way to the free throw line, where he had 20 of these things against the Sydney Kings. With attack on the rims like that, you're going to get your fair share, because he's got that size and athleticism. That's just hard to stop.
And good from the stripe, 73% this season. Keanu Pinder, 79 free throws at 7 a game, most in the competition. And the margin is an uncomfortable one for the Adelaide 36ers. A little over 2 minutes played in the second. McCarron gets it across the halfway line. This is Cleveland with a good extension. Adds to his tally. He's got 6 now. Antonio picks up the dribble. Pinder shovels it toward Hogue. Working on Cleveland. Nothing on offer there. Shannon Scott in the corner, and he knocks down the 3.
They swing that ball from left to right, make you play defense, and find the open man.
Margin out to 19 as Harris exploring inside.
I know. CJ.
See on the replay. A good extension there from Cleveland.
down the other end, that's the kick out that you're talking about. The quick hands, it doesn't stick in hands. It's not sticking at all.
That's right.
It's moving, and decisions are made quick, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense to be able to adjust. And
Daniel Johnson checks back in. Just the one shot for him so far. 8 assists to 4. The Taipans lead it. Better ball movement. Adelaide have only made 6 field goals in the game. And
we're out here shooting threes like this. The Golden State Warriors or somebody. Get that
Daniel
thing
Johnson
inside.
getting it inside and earning a trip to the free throw line.
DJ's had his challenges this year at home. 4, 10, 2, and 4 in his 4 games. 20 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists are the total stats at home across those 4. 5 points a game, 4 rebounds. Now that is Daniel Johnson-like.
Early days, though, when they had Randall, and he sort of didn't see the ball a lot.
Well, he hasn't seen the ball a lot here tonight. Ray Wood is in the audience. He's part of that West Adelaide team, 1983. Testing your memory.
Yeah.
You're the Adelaide boy here, but what a start. Also pulled on a green and gold jersey.
And Pinder rushes up the floor. Karen gets there in time. They just seem to have that energy you were talking about. 82. Now Greenman beat the Supercats. Here's McCarron looking to push it now for 36ers. Takes the bump, and he's off to the free throw line.
He wanted that foul before he jumped. To him, yeah.
It is. He did it well, though. He came into his path. You got DJ Hogue coming down, and you know that you're not going to win that contest because of size, and just cut him off enough to protect the rim and draw the foul. Good play by McCarron.
75% from the free throw line this season, Mitch McCarron, 18 of 24. Is there a chance for you to purchase an Omni Pump 2 on the Reebok Australia website between now and until 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow, Sunday, for your chance to win 2 tickets to a Hungry Jack's NBL semi-final game and a $1,000 Reebok voucher.
Do you remember those pumps?
I do.
I had a pair of
Absolutely.
those.
Omni Pumps. Beautiful shoe back in the early 90s. Very nice.
So the margin is 16. Took over 3 minutes played here in the second quarter. Bull Quayle picks up the dribble. Shot clock about to expire, so Scott must pull the trigger. Can't connect, and Adelaide happy to escort the ball out of court. Well, 5 of 17 at quarter time, Adelaide. They're 1 of 5 from the field since. This has not been attractive. Karen getting all he can handle there from Bull Quayle. Shot clock rolls to 10 here. Johnson against Pinder, who may have travelled. They turn it over for the 9th time.
It seems like if you get the ball, it's your turn to go. One-on-one.
But even when they're running that middle on ball, and they go back to it a couple of times to try and get something going, and everyone's so stationary. Not a lot of movement off the ball and just standing there and watching, and that's really easy for the defense. They can get in their lanes and just be a deterrent with their positioning. And it hasn't been much success from what we've seen from them so far.
Well, at halftime, we're going to hear from Antonius Cleveland and his basketball odyssey that has found its way to the Adelaide 36ers. Let's get a taste of it right now.
It's hard to make it in the NBA, so you got to go through, you know, not playing, getting cut. I had a lot of passion that I really couldn't express, but I was trying to be the best teammate I could be. But now in the NBA, I get to go out there and play freely, and you know that's why I play the way I play, energetic, smiling, passionate, just because I love the game so much. And it feels good to be out here just to finally compete.
Cleveland got a hand in the lane and then somehow made it work.
Yeah, very interesting character, Antonius Cleveland, averaging 14 points a game, 50% from the field. Great defender, as we know.
Franks has been quiet, 0 for 5. Probably scored, was it 2 rebounds? This is not good enough from him.
No, well, it comes down, a lot of it is his opportunity. Early on, he let him fly pretty quickly, and he was pretty anxious about trying to get things going himself. In contrast, we see Ball go from side to side, go through hands down the other end of the floor with the Cairns Taipans, and another really good set. They don't come up with it, but a good set, little slip action from the splits. And
from close range, Franks came up empty. And took a couple of goes to clean up his own mess, but eventually he breaks the drought after missing his first 6 shots, or 7 in fact, and he opens his scoring account. So Cairns by 14. Kinder, guarded by Johnson, hands over to Bull Quoll, who fires from long range and got the front of the rim. Pinder, the offensive rebound, presents another opportunity. Hogue, nice pass. McCall from close range, worried out of the points by good D by McCarron. Cleveland, nice pass. Daniel Johnson comes up with his first field goal of the game.
They got to push that ball before, get some easy baskets. Once they get it up there, move that ball around. Don't let the ball stick.
Well, they've let Adelaide off the hook. They've had a couple of bunnies down the other end that they weren't able to make, and Adelaide continue to push the ball. Time DJ, I think he might have asked the questions of the legs there, going upstairs to perhaps tuck it in, and he didn't get the response that he was hoping for.
Adelaide has scored the last 7 points here in a 3-minute patch that has got them back to within touching distance after they were down 19. Adelaide wearing their city jerseys tonight, but of course their Indigenous jerseys have been unveiled this week as well. There you can see the Adelaide 36ers and the Cairns Taipans versions of that, and they look delightful as well. The Cairns one has been produced by Uncle Henry Formile, and is a descendant of the great-grandfather and King Yeeni of Cairns. But 2 great designs there.
Very nice.
Every year they do a good job. Every year I say, I like this one, I like that one. And then they do a better job the next year. I love them. I love them. I reckon I can wear one to a nightclub one night. What do you think, Gazy?
Well, there's very few people that can pull that off, but given your very close relationships with the security guards out the front and all personnel involved, I think that you could probably get away with it.
Oh, you're a funny man.
So Adelaide trying to dig themselves back into the game here after being down 19 at one stage. No team has come back from any more than 16 in the game this season. So they've got the job ahead, and this is Pinder. Working on Franks, got him going the wrong way.
That's tough. That's tough.
Range.
That's tough.
Knocks down the shot. So Pinder with 6 points now to go with 3 rebounds. Franks, 1 of 8 from the field against Wardenberg. Dishes outside. Daniel Johnson is fouled by Pinder and is off to the free throw line.
Pinder bailed him out. I don't think it was going to be a great look. Just left his feet. And having played alongside Daniel Johnson for all those years, or for that year, he knows how he can be dangerous from the 3-point line.
Let's go
a little too aggressive.
Let's go courtside to Aaron Phillips.
Yeah, guys, Coach Adam Ford pretty disappointed he had to burn a timeout because of, you know, his team getting out-hustled. So made it very clear that the energy needs to be picked back up, and you're going to see probably here an offense going straight to the rim to get an easy bucket.
Daniel Johnson, he's been good from the free throw line this season. Through his career, really, but 82% this season, 18 of 22 coming into this game.
Always good in the clutch, though, with his free throws. Sometimes his numbers throughout the course of a game or throughout the course of a season can be a little bit down from the free throw line, but always seem to make them when they counted.
He's just so relaxed, though. You never see him too high or too low.
Oh, they were over the 8-second violation there, I thought. Backcourt violation. Referees didn't see it that way. And now a foul's going to be called on Mitch McCarron. I think a little frustration just also creeping in here.
Well, the thing about this, and you look at the Cairns Taipans, they got their 37 points, and you would never have thought that with DJ Hogue scoreless in the game. So it just shows the way they've been able to move the ball, really restrict the Adelaide 36ers on the offensive end. And they really haven't needed DJ too much in this one so far.
Wall exploring, down low, running out of real estate. Coughed it up. A chance for McCarron here. Uses Harris. Scrambling D from Cairns to get back in position has been good. Now Johnson muscling up against Wardenberg. Can't get it done. Pinder grabs the loose ball and has got options as well. Ben Eyre against his former team. Gets the 2, draws a foul.
And there you see the game, what you have with Keanu Pinder. Can rip that ball off, put it to the deck, 2 or 3 dribbles. He finds the guard with the pass, and gee, didn't look like there's a whole lot in the foul. Let's have a look. Maybe a little contact. And goes to the line for the N1. So just when Adelaide started to narrow the margin, a little transition option, a couple of transition options, and push that margin back out to 13.
Mitch McCarron playing game number 202 here tonight in the NBL. And pre-game, the great Ken Cole made a presentation to Mitch for his 200th game, which occurred last Sunday in New Zealand. So it was on the road, so first chance, in fact, first home game for Adelaide in a month. And they've only played the 4 home games. No one has played fewer in the NBL in terms of home games so far.
Well, right now, they're hoping for the road games as much as they possibly can.
They want to go on the road.
They did.
They want to get out of there.
And the thing is, the fans have come out in their droves on world record pace for attendances for the Adelaide 36ers. And I guess that would be a lot of that be on the back of their success in the pre-season and the attention they're being given. And, you know, maybe sometimes that can put a little pressure on you at home because you're so anxious to please the fans. And you'd reckon after 4 games, though,
you get it right, huh?
Settle down a little bit.
But they haven't been able to construct anything at home so far this season. And again, a slow start, so it's taken the fans out of the equation.
Well, it is, but there's still a lot of ball game here. And we're obviously talking down the Adelaide 36ers because they're shooting at 29% and have had 9 turnovers, and we've still got 4 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go in the second. But they're still well within touch.
But if the normal fans sitting at home would say, how could these guys play the way they played in the preseason against an NBA team and then come back and struggle like this against every team at home?
1 of 10 from long range, and look at that for an ugly turnover on cue. Mm. 10 turnovers now for Adelaide. So it's just not happening, and the hushed silence from the fans says a lot. As Wardenberg hands over, Bull Qual. Yeah, Pinder. Shot clock to single digits. Bernier gets once more. Pocket pass for Pinder, who just muscles his way past 2 defenders and adds another 2.
Look how they swing that ball, Gazzy. Everyone on the team touched that ball, and they got an open layup.
And they're going to draw a whistle here.
And that's just a simple on ball, and McCarron's got to do a better job of fighting harder over the top of that screen if you're in that drops, and trying to put a little bit more pressure, because with that separation and there's no third man help coming from the weak side, they're playing 2-on-1 in the middle cylinder there, and it's hard to stop.
Cairns over the limit in terms of fouls in this quarter. In fact, they picked up just 2 in the opening quarter, so 6 in this term for Cairns. And Adelaide getting it done from the free throw line, although McCarron there, this is the back end, so they're 10 of 15. Just 27 points overall. 3 of 10 from the field in this quarter. As Pinder ran into a brick wall. Well done, Daniel Johnson. Now McCarron, chance for Adelaide. Franks, hasn't been his night so far against Wardenberg. He's slapping away at the ball. Franks takes him on. Tough shot, couldn't get it done. Tipping from Harris wouldn't work either. 1 of 9 for Robert Franks. He's led this team in scoring. 20+ in 4 of his last 5 games. Shot clock to 10 for the Taipans. Poor pass, knocked down by Franks. Cleveland against Bull Qual. Euro steps himself to the baseline, adds another 2. He's got 8.
He does that well.
All right. so far in this game, that's been their best scoring opportunities, to create some sort of turnover or snatch it off the rim and get running. And anytime in there in transition, they've been able to look pretty threatening. When they get bogged down in the half-court game, the Adelaide 36ers have looked poor.
13 the margin. As we move inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Cairns led by 15 at quarter time. They're lobbing the ball down low for Hogue. Just too much on it, you can't reel it in. So quiet night for DJ Hogue, just none of one from the field.
That's 3 turnovers in a row for Cairns. They got to be careful, because that's how Adelaide can get back in this game.
Well, like I said, they had the switch and they went to the high-low. It's just the right idea, but the pass was poor.
Cairns shares it with Marshall. Puts it on the deck here against Majuk Deng. And the pass was an ambitious one through traffic. Turnover number 11 for Adelaide. Ben Air put on the accelerator against Harris. And Mitch McCarron helps out with the D. Well, I think we can safely say that 36ers are really missing Anthony Drimmick in this game. Oh, that's a nice finish. Good way to open your scoring account for DJ Hogue.
Nice little underneath out of bounds set. And Hogue goes up with the two-hand, stuffs it in.
I didn't know he had that in him, Gazy.
When you're that big, you get that close to the rim.
Franks from deep. He knocks down the triple.
Really got to get him going.
Adelaide trail by 12 inside the last 60 seconds of the first half. Hogue gets it back to Wardenberg, who dances around Marshall and adds another 2.
A little give and go. That was an outstanding touch pass by Hogue. And that's the unselfish nature of what they're doing right now, prepared to make that extra pass.
We've got 9 scorers already in the game, the Taipans. Adelaide with 7. Franks picks up the dribble. Sunday Detch, he fires from deep, off the mark. Well done, Majuk Deng there against multiple opponents. Feeds Wardenberg. Ominous signs for Adelaide. Wardenberg can't finish. Loose ball though. They kept it alive. Ben Air with it.
Shot clock reset. They reset it to 24. It should have only been reset to 14. So they stopped the game.
Easy mistake to make. Might be guilty of that myself at my son's under-18 game on a couple of occasions, running the shot clock.
It's a tough one. There's only there's 2 buttons there, and is it 14 or 24? Which one do I push? Really tough stuff, that one.
Probably the concentration levels, Drew. This has been good from the Taipans, though, as we've mentioned, on the road. Unbelievable, 5-1. Only loss in thriller to Sydney, and Portnoy knocked down the shot. The buzzer to beat them.
I love their unselfishness. They move that ball around, try to get the best shot possible.
Hogue has it. Shot clock is 7 seconds inside the game clock. Active hands there from Cleveland. Knock it down out of bounds. So now they have 6 on the shot clock. Hogue needs to get busy against a good defender. Puts it on the deck now, spins into the paint and draws the foul. Free throws to come for the Taipans.
Cleveland's done a decent job on him throughout most of the game. His length, Cleveland's length and athleticism. And we know how good a defender he has been across his relatively short period in the NBA, season and a half.
73% free throw shooter in his rookie season here, DJ Hogue. Henry Jacks beckons again.
He's too good of a shooter to miss this one.
And once again, the fans get a little excited, but they're going to have to wait a little longer.
Hungry people down there in Adelaide, case I live there.
So 10 seconds for Adelaide to try and build something here. Going into half-time, McCarron goes back to Cleveland. And down to the baseline and busted play and never got an effective shot away. And halftime arrives here in Adelaide have been restricted to just 32 points at halftime. And the Taipans have got a 15-point lead. It's Cairns 47, Adelaide 32. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks at NBL. We've got more for you on your Friday night in just a moment.
Goes Antonius Cleveland.
I had some short stints with the Mavs my rookie year.
Put back jam with authority, Antonius Cleveland.
And I signed to the Hawks. And I went back to the G League and back to the Mavs and back to the G League.
Stolen by Cleveland. Here comes a big windmill flush.
It's hard to make it in the NBA, so you got to go through, you know, not playing, getting cut. I had a lot of passion that I really couldn't express, but I was trying to be the best teammate I could be. But now in the NBA, I get to go out there and play freely, and you know that's why I play the way I play, energetic, smiling, passionate, just because I love the game so much. And it feels good to be out here just to finally compete.
The Karen, Cleveland into the paint.
The move to Adelaide was the easy choice for me as far as my options. I feel like I'm at home. Only thing is the time zone. That's the difference, but yeah, it's just easy to adjust, and I feel right at home here.
Good look in the corner. Wow. And another knockdown from deep for Cleveland.
I got a little girl named Kari. She's 1. My son is 3, Kai, and my fiance, Imani. So I kind of look up at my fiance, and she'll let me know what I need to do. I kind of read her lips and whatnot. Wish my son cared that I was out there. You know, he kind of does his own thing, but hopefully, you know, I can be healthy enough to keep playing. he get, of age, he can really, really focus and know that his dad's pretty good. But right now, he can care less. He's just there in his own little world.
Antonius Cleveland there, our special feature at halftime. And while the 36ers are struggling at the moment, certainly not out of the equation here at the moment. It was 15 at quarter time, remains 15 at the half. But their offense just hasn't got in sync at any stage.
No, it hasn't. And 11 turnovers is the most they've had in a half all season. So it hasn't been pretty on the offensive end. Not only that, they're shooting the ball really poorly, 30% from the field, and just a lot of standing around, a lot of ISO ball. Even when they throw it inside, they throw it in there. Not a lot of weak side action going on, and as such, it's very crowded, and it's difficult for them to get to the paint. And the only time they've really looked like the Adelaide 36ers we've come to see over the last 3 or 4 games is in transition. When they get out and run, they've been okay. Down the other end of the floor, the Cairns Taipans coach, they do move the ball well. They are sharing it around, and as such, their points. The leading scorer on their team, I think, has 8, and that's Tajima Call. And everyone else just contributing those 3, 5, and everyone getting involved.
That's a good thing. Cairns definitely moving that ball around, making you play defense, moving it from side to side, and trying to find the best open person, and that's what's happening here. And generally, the shots that they're taking are wide open. No one's there. Open shot, and they're knocking it down. But look, again, I spoke about this earlier. They're having fun, man. They're laughing, they're joking. The bench is up and about after every play. It just seems like Adelaide are dead. There's no energy.
As you can see, the numbers there not appealing for Adelaide fans at the moment, but credit to the Taipans. 47% from the field, lead the rebound count, lead the assist count, and of course less turnovers. Adelaide's 32 points, lowest halftime score under CJ Bruton.
Yeah, it hasn't been great. And when you look at what they'd be talking about at the halftime break, it's they need to pick things up on the defensive end. They've given it the Cairns Taipans are at 47% from the field. Okay, not so great from the three-point line, only 4 of 15. But right now, in order to generate their offense, they've got to do it with their defense. And if they can do a better job on the offensive end, move that ball around, that in fact will help them defensively as well. So to allow some of those transition opportunities that the Taipans have been getting. So it's a tough first half, but don't write off the Adelaide 36ers. They've got too much talent. If they can get hot and just get the game working their way, then this thing can turn real quickly.
Well, here's Tajir McCall. He had his 8 points in the opening quarter, really set the platform, but Keanu Pinder is the one because he's making things happen at both ends of the floor.
He's tough. He's been tough the whole year. He finds, he gets the rebound. He's capable enough to kick the ball up the court, get it to the open man for the wide open layup. Rolls here, easy layup. He's energetic, man. That energy, it's infectious, and the other guys jump on board.
Well, these two guys have been great. They've got the 8 apiece, doing it at a really good clip. Pinder's doing his stuff on the boards as well with his 5 rebounds. But Case, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they've got 9 scorers already.
Yeah.
9 different scorers, which is another example of the way in which they're sharing it around, turning down good shots for even better ones, and as such that they've looked completely in control and been dominating this game.
Well, Cairns Taipans are the worst third quarter team in the competition. Adelaide the second best. We come out of half-time to see if the 36ers can work themselves back into this game. Half-time in Adelaide, it's Cairns 47, the 36ers 32. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks Friday night NBL. Latrobe Financial giving $50,000 this year, guaranteed. And some of these already, we've seen some great entries. Half-court shot is what you need to make, and send it through to us, nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to grab some of that money. Should be a very easy way to go in. So from Adelaide, the 36ers have got their hands full. Let's ask one of the world champions from 06, Erin Phillips, is a leader, a point guard in her playing days, two-time championship winner in the WNBA as well. And Erin, tell us, what would you be saying in this situation for Adelaide where they just can't seem to get anything happening?
Well, first of all, I'd just be questioning their energy, which is what CJ Bruton did in the first quarter break, but they just didn't bring it. And we talk a lot about energy and what that can bring, but I'm sitting really close to the Cairns bench, guys. And there's 20 to 8 bench points for Cairns, and there's a massive difference in just the energy that they're bringing.
We can see that by the way they're playing. You see the energy. Scored basket, the whole team standing up, yelling and screaming. Adelaide scored basket. It's just another basket. Get down the court.
Well, Adelaide haven't had a lot to yell and scream about.
You're right.
No, any home game this season. So Cairns with a possession arrow. Both teams back to their original starting fives to get us underway here in the second half. If you joined us late, no Anthony Drimmick tonight because of that back injury that flared up after training on Wednesday. Nick Marshall took his spot in the starting five, his first start in the NBL in his 25th appearance. But no doubt missed Anthony Drimmick's energy. He is an energy player.
Absolutely. I just said that he would have been one of those guys starting off in the game, pushing that ball down the court, trying to get an open layup or easy transition basket. He brings the energy, and they certainly miss him tonight.
Had a game-high 6 assists along with 14 points in Perth on Thursday night in Adelaide's biggest ever win in the Wild West. And CJ Bruton's got his hands full here, and the equation continues to get worse for him. 17 now the margin. But Adelaide, as I mentioned, they've been good, averaging 23 in third quarters this season, which is their best quarter of any of the games. So let's see if they can turn it on here. Shot clock works to 5, and Johnson draws a foul on Keanu Pinder. That's going to be his second personal.
You know what I saw there, Drew? I saw them move the ball a little bit.
A little bit.
Guys got to touch the ball. Different guys touch the ball.
Well, that's phase one, and phase two now is to do it with a bit more purpose. Got to be able to do it with some tempo and some pace and really try and move and shift the defense around.
Cleveland can't connect. Shannon Scott gets after the loose ball. So Adelaide's shooting woes continue. 10 of 34 from the field. Well done, Cleveland.
Super smart play.
So long and athletic, getting in passing lanes and winning it back here for Adelaide.
Speaking of energy, he can turn this game around, though. He's the type of guy that'll take it off the glass and take it to the hole and get the guys going.
And McCarron lost the handle, trying to win it back against Pinder. Good hustle from the captain, Mitch McCarron there. Went after that after initially losing control of it. And he's done himself a mischief here, hitting the deck where appeared to be contact going to the knee there of Bull Quoll. So they'll attend to that.
They smacked him in the nose as well.
He's already been in the wars, missed training on Wednesday after having a minor procedure to his eye.
Oh, doesn't sound pleasant. What was all that about, Case?
He had some growth there that they wanted to nip in the bud, and nothing serious, he tells me, but it was just a matter of having a procedure, and that's why he didn't train on Wednesday.
Right.
And the training on Wednesday was very spirited. It was one of the more high-energy trains I've ever seen. And Nick Marshall can get upstairs quickly.
Young fella's got hops, huh?
First score in the game.
Nice.
So it's a 15-point margin for the Cairns Taipans. A little over a minute played here in this third quarter. As Hogue shares it with Pinder. Shot clock to single digits. Shannon Scott getting away from Sunday Detch, who pushes into Pinder. And second personal to be called here on Sunday Detch.
We didn't want to go around him, so he just went straight through him. and got called for the foul. You know, that's the sort of thing, though, that sometimes a foul here or there like that, we're just showing that level of aggression, that type of intensity can be infectious, and they need it to be. There he is, up again, in again, and gets blown by, but a little bit of help there.
Cleveland throwing the ball back onto his opponent out of court for the second time. They'll keep it possession with Adelaide. So he does the ball carrying duties as well. Marshall wants Johnson. Shot clock to 10, and the touch finish there from Cleveland was pretty to watch.
Gadget, man, he's got the longest arms in the league, I reckon.
It is, and good pass, good recognition by DJ just to throw it up there and let him go get it.
Margin 13, single digits on the shot clock here for Wardenberg, as from the elbow fires unsuccessfully. So their offense has dried up a little here. The Cairns Taipans. Adelaide making their move in the third quarter, and free throws to come.
It's going to be on Pinder. It could be, if it is, it could be his third. So Adam Ford will have a bit of a think about what he does. In fact, it is on Pinder.
He's fouled out 3 times this season, Keanu Pinder. No player has fouled out more.
Let's go. Line up.
And it was an issue for him when he was in Adelaide. He certainly improved in that category, of that area of his game last season, but the season just starting to rack up a few now as Cleveland gets to the free throw line. Missed his first 2 free throws.
Well, he's looked the most likely, and perhaps in hindsight in that first half, probably didn't see it enough. But just throwing it to anyone and just throwing it and saying all the very best and let him go one-on-one. There's a time and a place for that. And I'm not saying you don't do that at all, but the balance just didn't seem quite right for Adelaide in that first half.
Of course, Adelaide heads to Sydney on Sunday for an appointment with the Kings as Hogue. Fancy pass was knocked down in traffic. Marshall's got it now for Adelaide. The 36ers are grabbing some momentum. Now look inside. They want Franks against Hogue. Former teammates in a G League championship, and a good battle between the two of them.
That is exceptional defense. Good help, good dig in.
Hogue pushes Detch out of the way. Too big and strong as he comes up with the 2. And the second field goal of the game for DJ Hogue. Marshall gets it from Detch. Now Johnson working on Wardenberg, spinning to the baseline. Loose ball trickles out of court, and Cairns' defense again was solid.
Cairns' defense was solid, but I think the offense in Adelaide was unsolid, if that's a word.
Yeah, well, and the good thing for the Cairns is the way in which they help out there. DJ is able to break down, get by his defender, but always there's a crowd behind the ball. They're building that wall behind the ball, and they're closing out well. So full credit to the Cairns Taipans.
Tajima call. Marshall couldn't get it done. Johnson, Detch in support. Franks joining in as well. He takes them on. Quick release, couldn't get the finish.
Franks has struggled this game.
It's 2 of 11 from the field. 18%. Majuteng fires this off the mark. Johnson the long rebound. Now it's Cleveland. Gets in Franks. Went down hard. That's an aggressive foul. He hit the deck hard there, Robert Franks. And slow to get back to his feet here. With Bull Quoll getting value for money with this foul.
Well, there's absolutely no malice in it whatsoever. He wasn't trying to be dangerous or hurtful. He just went up to try and block the shot. And just the momentum took the legs of Robert Franks out from underneath him. And looks like he's going to be okay. Probably just came down more winded than anything. And plus, I wouldn't know, but Copes, when you're up that high...
That's a long way to fall, bro. It's a long way to fall.
It can be tough to...
Well, this season, with thanks to MG, we are giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car valued at $44,990. You can go to nbl.com.au/winmg. Right now, put your entry in And you'd be a very happy customer if you were driving around in that electric MG. And thanks to our partner, MG, for the car giveaway. So Adelaide just 7 points in this quarter, but Taipans have been restricted to only 4. And we played almost 4 minutes. Last time they were in Adelaide, round 16 last year, the Taipans scored only 6 in the last quarter and left Adelaide with their heaviest defeat there ever, losing by 26. They've done a good job of leading for the vast majority of this game. McCall comes up empty. Cleveland finds Marshall ready to go.
Well, just like that, all of a sudden, we're in single digits, the deficit, and a bit of momentum going the way of the Adelaide 36ers, because the scoring, like you mentioned, Case, it's dried up a little bit. And again, it's in transition. Coming here, not sure about the decision of Taj McCall down the other end, driving into the traffic, 1 on 3. And that rebound come out and knock down the 3.
Hogue, too quick there, got down low against Soto and gets the finish. So steadies the ship. 7 points now for Hogue, including 4 in this quarter out of the 6 his team have scored.
Now, I know we've seen a lot of game delay warnings this season. That was one that was earned right there. And he gets a warning.
So we got delay for goal.
Yeah, delay of game warning. It's official. Johnny Antonio checks into the game. Taipans and Adelaide both committed 3 fouls so far in this quarter. As Cleveland shares the ball. Harris working on McCall. Muscling his way into the paint, lost control.
What are they doing here?
14 turnovers now for Adelaide, which is their season average. And we've still got more than 5 minutes to play in the third. Cleveland to restart. Sunday Detch working on Antonio. Hands over. Harris decides to fire from deep. He's off the front of the rim. Well done, Sunday Detch, to keep it alive. Get the ball off the rim. And now Cleveland takes them on. Shut down. Defensive play there from Wardenberg. Now in transition, a chance for the Taipans. They can't convert. And Cleveland a little out of control there. Gets his own rebound. Couldn't convert though.
A lot of contact. I'll tell you what, Sunday Detch has done a good job. That's going to be a defensive foul. And Harris just, with a left arm, pulled on McCall, pulled him down, and gets called for the foul. But I like what Sunday Detch has brought to this team in this second half. Now, it hasn't always shown up, but there's a lot of energy. He's been really aggressive on the defensive end. There's that left arm that I was talking about. Absolutely no doubt about that one.
Here, I call Ants foul. He grabs him.
McCall to the free throw line.
Just like both teams are making some unwarranted turnovers, Joey. They're trying to force the ball instead of moving the ball around and getting the open shot. 1 on 3, 1 on 4, and just turning that ball over.
So the margin back to an even dozen. Detch exploring off glass, adds the 2. He's got 6 in the game. His first score since quarter time. Cairns by 10. A little over 4 minutes out from 3/4 time. McCall. Deng. Now Hogue. Juk Deng. And he stepped out of court, so Cairns turn it over for the 12th time.
Yeah, they've been pretty generous themselves, and that one there was just really an unforced one. Just got to know where the sideline is.
We know it can be contagious, though. Right at the moment, another chance for Adelaide here to work the margin back to single digits. As Sunday Detch works on Antonio. Went down and off the ball. Another Cairns player is down at Juk Deng, and he appeared to collide with Daniel Johnson after Antonio took a tumble as well. So Juk Deng is staying down here. And there was a tangle with Daniel Johnson, just caught in the bottom of the frame. And just trying to wrestle for position. And Daniel Johnson's arm has collected Juk Deng a little high around the back of the head.
Again, I don't think there was any intent.
No. Just in their wrestles, they're trying to wrestle for position.
There it is there. Just trying to establish it to not let Juk Deng get in front. And just caught him in the head. When you think that how the Adelaide 36ers are playing, 31% from the field, 14 turnovers, 3 of 15 from the three-point line, it's not pretty reading at all. But they only trail it by 10. They're still well and truly in this one, and you just get the sense that Cairns haven't had the ability to put them away. Adelaide's given them a chance to be put away, but they haven't capitalised on it enough. Nice little buffer, got the 10-point lead, but just in this third quarter, there's some signs that the Adelaide hanging around and giving themselves a chance.
I mentioned Cairns are the worst third-quarter team in the competition for whatever reason that is out of half-time. They've hit only 2 field goals here in 6 minutes. It's McCall exploring, lob pass intended for Antonio. He got it eventually, but his 3-ball is off the mark, and Mitch McCarron can't reel it in. And after taking that knock, looks as though his nose may even be broken there. So that's not going to make his night feel any better. Bull Qual, Wardenberg, single digits on the shot clock. Now Wardenberg saw an opening, got beyond Kai Soto and came up with the 2.
Beautiful drive.
And that's the issue with Kai Soto, whether he's coming off those screens or even just in ISO. His ability to slide his feet and keep him in front.
He's lobbing the ball down low. Nothing on offer for Frank, so he feeds it outside, and Cleveland knocks down the 3 and turns to the Cairns bench and said, "Did you have a look at that?" 14 in the game now for Cleveland. Only player on the floor in double figures. That's his season average. So he could be on track for his best night in an Adelaide singlet as McCall steps into an easy 2.
And that's what happened when Soto, he doesn't have the confidence to get up. But what he's got to do, he's got to be long.
Carry a hand.
Tall, carry a hand and just give it a little space.
Here's Kai Soto at the offensive end, worried out of the points though. And McCall beats Antonio. His pass is a slow one to Bull Qual. Taipans restricted to just 11 points so far as they add another 2 now. CJ Bruton wants time out here as Cairns get back to a 13-point edge. They started this quarter on top by 15.
They've been able to answer a lot of the questions the Adelaide 36ers have thrown at them.
And Adam Ford probably doing a good job of it in terms of his coaching this year, but he has got a few tricks as well. And we know the coaches like to get involved at training, and this is from half court with the overarm hook shot. He liked it. Straight in.
Like a cricket bowl. It's like he's bowled it in. Like he was front on too. Wasn't his typical hook shot, Coach, like you seem to have mastered.
Yeah, I mastered it, yeah.
But do we have to see it? Should we relive it?
I think so.
Why not?
I think it'd be rude if we didn't.
We'll get a bit of Copes action going here.
A little bit of Bernard Copeland.
What's he doing?
He's teaching the kids. This is how I used to do it. If you can master this shot, you're going to be tough to beat.
Where'd you guys get that from? Come on.
Nice finish, Copes.
Oh, my goodness.
He is pretty efficient at that. We play horse a lot, and he tries to throw that up every now and again.
Well, he did hit 1,242 three-pointers.
Wow. That's a lot.
Nothing to compare with this guy over here sitting next to me, though, because he probably missed 1,242.
Oh, I would have missed more than that. 100%. Well, a lot more than that.
Well, he shot 1,826 threes at 37%.
Wow.
That is a lot of threes, Case.
It's a lot of misses, isn't it?
Hey, there's a lot of misses in there.
But it's Adelaide down 13, a little over 2 minutes out from three-quarter time. And they need some energy. It's been lacking for most of the night. So they go to Franks, who's Had his problems tonight. Just works to the elbow and is off the mark once more. So he's 2 of 12 from the field now. Franks. It's kept alive. Harris in traffic. And the ball knocked down out of bounds. Adelaide will get it back.
Fans thought there might have been a bit of contact on Harris.
I think the fans are just a little frustrated that they had nothing to cheer about because there was a double-figure lead in the opening quarter, and it's been largely in double figures since then.
And Cairns have done a good job without Pinder. Pinder got into foul trouble early, and they've done a great job in just maintaining that lead, so they can hold on a little bit longer.
That's a good point that you make, Copes. Pinder sitting down with those 3 fouls, 8 points, 5 boards for him. Here's Hogue, who's been quiet by his standards as well, and he's off the mark again.
He's only had 5 shots, and there it is again. Transition opportunities, either off the intercept or the turnover, or if they can get it off the glass and push it down the floor, that's where they've looked at their best.
Single digits separating the teams once more. McCall in traffic, poor pass, well read by Sunday Detch, and he's got McCarron working hard for him, and he adds another 2. This is as close as Adelaide have been since the opening quarter as they close to within 7. Now the fans find their voice.
I'm a fan of McCall's, but sometimes he tries to force things that aren't there. I don't know if he's a true point guard.
No, he's definitely not that, but he can get into the paint, and that time just a little out of control. No one there to bail him out. And if they just weren't so turnover prone themselves, they're up to 13, and the vast majority of those have been punished.
No, Adelaide came into this game undermanned. No Anthony Drimmick, who has a back problem and had to withdraw after he was slated to start the game. And they've certainly missed his input because he's really stepped up in the last 3 games in the absence of Craig Randall, and he's been able to turn it on in terms of his points production. He led the game in assists against Perth on Thursday night, had 21, a season high against Melbourne just prior to that as well. And the numbers that he's been able to produce this season, as you can see, with Craig Randall and then without Craig Randall and more minutes, I think he's in career best form.
Well, that might be a bit of a stretch because, well, certainly this last patch that he's gone through, he's been really good, and I think that he has been, like you mentioned, one of the biggest beneficiaries because he gets the ball in his hands a little bit more, and most importantly,
his energy.
He's playing a lot more minutes. There was a couple of games early on, we didn't see a lot of Anthony Drimmick, but with Craig Randall out of the lineup, and he started to get that 3-ball dropping, so there's no doubt that they've missed him tonight.
So a chance for Adelaide just to edge a little closer here inside the last 60 seconds of the 3rd quarter. They've had the better of it since half-time. Antonio against McCarron. That's a tough matchup for him. 5 on the shot clock. He launches unsuccessfully. So the fans starting to get involved here for Adelaide. Cairns haven't hit a 3 since half-time. As McCarron spins on McCall. And now Franks, who we know is overdue, continues to wait. Detch got a piece of it. Wardenberg slaps it toward the sideline, and Adelaide will get it back.
Got to grab that. I'm not sure. I think he could have, from the angle that we have, I think he could have caught that. Never leave it up to the official, because one, you may not have known who actually hit it out, or 2, the officials sometimes don't always get it right. So just take that out of the equation if you can.
A chance for Robert Franks once more. Wardenberg and others overcooked it. Well done, Harris, to keep that alive with the offensive rebound. And Sunday Detch fires off the mark. Franks from close range is off to the free throw line.
He can't get anything to fall. Normally, that's an easy 2 and an N1.
He knows it too. He's struggling.
2 of 14, and was a sign that it's in his head right now. He shot that like Dwight Howard and Shaquille O'Neal were there to block it. He wanted to get it out of his hands real quick, and that's what can happen when things aren't falling for you. The game speeds up, and you see things that aren't really there, and he's in that place right now by the looks of that last attempt. Last 2 attempts, in fact.
Sometimes you see those free throws go in, it can get you going, give you that confidence to see that ball go through the net.
None of 4 from the field in the opening quarter. 5 points at halftime. Robert Franks now up to 9 points as Adelaide close to within 5. So they've done well to come from 19 down in the second quarter to get it back to a 5. And a chance, though, for the Taipans. Just to steady the ship here as we head toward three-quarter time. Shannon Scott picked up the dribble. McCall, not a lot of time for him to work from, so he fires from deep and comes up with the goods. Big play from Tajir McCall on the three-quarter time buzzer. Extends the Cairns Taipans out to an 8-point advantage. And McCall, with 16 points in the game, scored 8 in the first quarter and 8 here in the third out of the 16 that his team could muster after half-time. So 1 quarter to play, 8-point ball game. Welcome back. Friday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks at NBL, and the Adelaide 36ers make their move. Outscore Cairns 23-16 here in the third, and after being down double figures, 19 at one stage, they've got it back to 8 as we turn for home.
It is, and they only had a couple of turnovers in that, or a few turnovers in that quarter, the Adelaide 36ers, so they tidied it up a little bit. And the inability of the Cairns Taipans to keep that scoreboard ticking over was the problem.
So Taipans with a possession arrow. Keanu Pinder is out there to start this final quarter with those 3 fouls. And Wardenberg has a jump out of the cylinder. And Adelaide will get possession.
Oregon, a team that brings the most energy this quarter, can get this win. They need to pick it up, whoever. They need to pick it up.
And again, I think really Sunday Desch led the way in that category in that third period. He was really good on the defensive end.
Here's Franks firing from long range. Still no reply. Now 1 of 5 from long range for Robert Franks, and 2 of 15 overall. And as Bull Quayle works to the top and he can't connect. Harris seeing extended minutes here for Adelaide. Brings the ball back up the floor. McCarron. Try and lob the ball down low to Franks, but there was no passing lane. That's a tough shot, but somehow was able to make it work.
It is a little scoop shot. Not sure that was his intent to not use the glass, but it was effective.
Chance now for Bukwal once more. He's deep with it. Wardenberg over the top there. Can't keep it alive. As we go courtside to Erin Phillips.
Yeah, guys, that three-quarter time huddle, Adam Ford was very disappointed in just the O-boards and the energy that Cairns were playing at. But what I love was McCall. He got the group together and just wheeled them and said, hey, guys, we're up. We've got control of this game. We've got to control this game. So a lot of leadership by the captain.
Well, Adam Ford's spoken about that. And that's what Adam Ford loves about Tajir McCall.
Shot clock to single digits here. Sunday Detch against Scott. Confronted by McCall, forced into error. Adelaide turn it over for the 15th time in the game. Cairns by 6. Scott behind the back. Pinder picks up the dribble. Defensive pressure here from Adelaide. Bukwal with it now. Back to Pinder with the shot clock working to 5 against Franks. Pinder puts it on the deck. Worried out of the points. Good D again from Adelaide. As McCarron exploring. Cleveland's pass showed enough of it in the passing lane. It's deflected out of court.
Well, I don't think he realised he had a 5-4 advantage and almost lost it.
So the Cairns Taipans had 47 at half-time and just 16 since.
They're 5 of 23 from the three-point line.
Here's McCarron. Lost a handle on it. Under pressure once more. Forced to try and retrieve it. He's going to pick up the foul, McCarron. Going to be his second personal.
They average almost 34 three-point field goal attempts on the season. And so they're the highest three-point shooting team in the competition, but they have the lowest percentage at only 31.4. And that's similar to what we've seen here this evening. 5 of 23, 21% from the field, from the three-point line.
Wardenberg's skip pass finds in the corner McCall, and he knocks down another. So that's 3 triples for the first time this season in a game for Tajir McCall, and the margin is 9.
He's obviously been working on that three-point shot, hasn't he?
Well, it is, and
because it looks good.
Simple catch and shoot, and when he made that one just on the halftime break, there's one of the all-time great legends, both as a player and a coach, Ken Cole. He's confused. What's going on out there? If he doesn't know what's going on, then we've got problems.
We've got no chance. So Adelaide restart. A little over 7 minutes left here, and they're down 9. But they are slowly edging their way back into the equation. Marshall in traffic, pass knocked down, loose ball. It comes to Bukwal. Turnovers and self-inflicted wounds for Adelaide. Pinder comes up with the play of the game.
Really nice pass. Pinpoint accuracy, and it was a gift for Pinder.
So a double-figure lead once more. Franks shares it with Cleveland, who's been Adelaide's best and continues to impress. He's got 17 in the game.
We've probably seen more side-to-side action in this last quarter we've seen the whole game. At time getting into their motion offense. Oh, dear.
Breakdown in communication there allows McCall an easy layup. So he's up to 21 points on 8 of 11 from the field, including 3 of 3 from deep.
He's been tough, pushing that ball up the floor, getting guys involved, knocking down the three-point shot.
This is the Amy replay with the dunk, and like I said, it was just silver service. That's what you got to do. You got to shoot it. You just got to, like you're shooting a flat shot that's just going to miss. Put it around the rim and let the big fella go get it.
So Pinder with 10 points, 5 boards, steal.
It's a mistake a lot of times on those alley-oop passes. The passer actually tries to pass it. Like there's a passing action rather than a shooting action when you want to run that alley-oop play.
I wouldn't know too much about passing that ball up there, Joey.
Deep three Cleveland off the mark. No foul going to be called on Franks. Fans don't like it.
Gazy, this will be an interesting one for you or Copes. Like, who is it from the Sixers that needs to step up right now, grab this team, you know, buy the jersey and just say, hey, we've got to take over this game? Who's it going to be?
Well, I think that there's a couple of options out there. The obvious one is Robert Franks. Now, he's a superstar of this league, but he's in such a bit of a funk, 2 of 15 from the field. But this is where Mitch McCarron, I think, can step up in the way in which he distributes the ball and can make things happen. He's one that I think that they need to play through a bit more. And Antonius Cleveland has been one of their better players, 7 of 15 with his 17 points. He's the only player for the Adelaide 36ers in double figures. But those three collectively, I think, are the ones that you're going to be relying on, not just in this game, but right throughout. If Adelaide are going to do anything this season, those three need to be playing well.
I'd love to see CJ with a stand-up timeout. You know, one of those timeouts we're not allowed to go into. And just because right now everyone's too comfortable. They're just playing basketball. You know, there's no sense of urgency. We're down. We're just playing like we got 8 quarters in 5.5 minutes. If you continue to play like this, you're not going to win this game.
Margin 11. As McCarron gets it back from Franks. Now Marshall. McCarron fires the 3 ball. It's off the mark. It's got the rebound over to Tajir McCall.
Just a whole lot of nothing in that offensive set. Played well beyond the 3-point line the whole way. Jeez.
Daniel Johnson charges up the floor looking to go solo at the moment. Good option as he helps himself to 2 more.
I think they've called a... Is it a...
You gotta stop that. Stop what? Yeah, you're going for the... Yeah, I know, but you're going for a play. It's no good. I don't... Hey, all right?
I like it.
He's absolutely right.
He tried to do... He did this, I think, in the game last week, and he just tried to jump in front of the offense. See TJ McCall right there, just stopped. That's just a poor play. And I'm glad the officials didn't bite on that and call it. I want people just running in front of people. Stopping all of a sudden in transition like that. That's just not in the spirit of the game.
Tell you what, Bull Quall is not shy.
Franks comes up with a 3, and Adelaide close the margin to just 6. They've been hanging around, and still plenty of time on the clock.
It's like Cairns have been going for the killer blow from the 3-point line. They've come up short.
Shannon Scott can't get it to go. Pinned to the offensive rebound. Outside Bull Quall works inside, and they club Pinder, who's off to the free throw line.
On the elbow.
Franks, he wants a review. He doesn't think he got it.
Look at this.
I think Frank's got a lot of ball.
Maybe a little bit of body there.
The coach has challenged. They're going to challenge it here.
The foul on the court is...
So we've got 4:30 left on the clock. Coach's challenge here for CJ Bruton. They're down 6. This is always fraught with danger because there only needs to be the slightest contact.
Have a look. Sorry, Case, but here it is. It comes in and just might be that on the elbow. Franks maybe. It looked like a lot of ball.
Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the court stays 2 shots.
That's the right call, because I think he got him.
And that's the reward you get when you go so hard, like Pinder there. Doesn't try and go up and just put it in. He goes up and attacks the rim and gets a reward for it with the foul.
It's a 6-point margin. 15 at quarter time and half time at 8 3/4 time. And with Hungry Jack's NBL Whopper your way to LA. Grab any large burger meal at Hungry Jack's and enter your receipt code to win 4 tickets, flights, spending money and accommodation. And a basketball game in the USA. That is fantastic. Trip for 4. Enter now, hungryjacks.com.au/Whopper LA.
She said Whopper looks good, didn't it?
I didn't call the foul.
Devouring Whopper right now.
So Pinder to the free throw line where he's 2 of 2 so far tonight. As we mentioned, gets there more than any other player in the NBL.
I tell you what, though, Adelaide have done a great job on DJ Hogue, though. They've actually shut him down.
Well, they've got an elite defender to do that.
Yeah.
And one with some size with Cleveland has really made... And he hasn't exclusively had the job, but he's been on him most of the time, and he's been able to make life pretty difficult just to get a shot off. DJ Hogue's only taken 5 field goal attempts.
So the margin is 8, a little over 4 minutes out. On the conclusion here, Franks decides to fire the 3, can't connect. Johnson, the offensive rebound and the putback. He's into double figures, the 3rd Adelaide player in that category. So back to that 6-point margin as we move inside the last 4 minutes. Wardenberg kicks outside McCall, and he shares it with Scott. And Pinder, as the shot clock works, took 5. McCall against Detch, lost the handle. Now he's got problems. Ball trickles out of court, and Cairns has got 1.6 on the clock.
It's going to be a catch and shoot. That's all they're going to have time for.
Neat pass, but it's picked off by Cleveland, who is awake to it, and he wants to charge up the floor. Daniel Johnson in support, goes solo, adds another 2. Adelaide have closed to within 4. They haven't been this close since the opening quarter.
Tell you what, they continue to play defense like that and push that ball up the floor. They might be able to sneak one out here.
Snatched away by Mitch McCarron, has Pinder to beat, got it off quickly but unsuccessfully. Good pressure there from Keanu Pinder.
Be smart here, be smart.
And Scott with a wide open 3, can't connect, but they'll get it back once more.
What an opportunity that would have been. McCarron just rushed it a little bit. In 2 minds, I think, in regards to cutting off the defender rather than just going up and laying it up.
And here's a chance now from the restart, and it's Cleveland talking it up as well as the margin is cut even closer. So they're back to within 2.
They certainly picked up their defense. 2 or 3 steals back to back to back. Easy layups. Cairns are blowing this. Cairns are blowing this.
Here's the replay, just a sloppy inbounds pass. And Antonius Cleveland just read that like a cheap novel and goes down for 2 of the easiest ones he's had all night.
21 in the game now for Cleveland. But they are right where they need to be now, Adelaide, after being down big for the vast majority of this game.
Turnovers hurt these guys this quarter. We gotta
Well, after being down double figures in each of the 4 quarters, Adelaide are making their charge here, and Antonius Cleveland's been the man as he steals a poor pass to restart there. He's now got 21 points in the game, Cleveland, which is just 1 short of his season high, which he had against Perth back on November 5. So the theme this year in the NBL is teams coming from double digits down to win. It's happened in every round so far through 1 to 8. And Adelaide are looking to do it here in round 9. As McCall spins into the paint, shut down by Franks. And now chance for McCarron as Adelaide cross the halfway line. Adelaide scored the first 2 points of the game and haven't been in front since then. McCarron. Detch thought about the three, went to Johnson, working on Pinder with those 3 fouls. Johnson, the veteran, fires, wouldn't fall for him, and Pinder puts a stop to it. Rebound number 8 for Keanu Pinder to go with his 12 points. And Hogue, who's been quiet, and saw in the game on Monday he can be quiet but come up with big buckets when they're most needed, and that's right about now for DJ Hogue. Shot clock works to 3. He gives it up. Wardenberg inside McCall. Tough shot, can't get it to go. Taipans come up empty once more. Franks and McCarron exchange passes. Johnson's got a mismatch down low. Whistle on the play.
Go. 22. Got to hold.
Foul's going to be called on Tajir McCall. Second team foul on Cairns in this quarter, or in fact, they're going to assess that to Wardenberg.
See the frustration in Adam Ford, and just the tempo, the decision-making, everything on the offensive ends for the Cairns Taipans is vastly different in the second half than what we saw in the first. They've been highly generous as well with the turnovers, 16 of those in the game.
Shot clock rolls to 7. Sunday Detch with it against McCall. Puts it on the deck, confronted by Scott. Now works his way to the baseline, adds the 2. We are tied away at 73.
Well, this is
unbelievable is what it is. This is unbelievable.
The Cairns Taipans just, they were given all sorts of opportunities. And now,
was that a turnover?
On the inbound, I think it was a turnover. Maybe stepped over the line or something. Another sloppy, self-inflicted wound by the Cairns Taipans. Adam Ford can't believe it.
So Adelaide get possession. McCarron needs help.
Oh, that's going to go back.
Detch, and almost good hands there from Tajir McCall.
Looked like it come off Sunday Detch's leg.
Did too.
All right, we play center. We have goal board on the play, and we're asking for review, please.
Here was that play prior. What are you doing, Tajir McCall?
He's grabbing.
What is he? Just take it out of bounds. There's no pressure. The game's tied. You're the most crucial part of the game, and oh my goodness!
6 turnovers in the game for McCall. That was the worst of them.
What's going through your head to make a mistake like that?
So Adelaide.
Goal ball. That was, he made up for it because he got in the lanes and really put a lot of defensive pressure and
but he has to be smart here. You can't just continue to throw the ball away.
Just 10 points for Cairns in this last quarter. They are limping. Hogue, Wardenberg takes on Johnson. Adelaide cannot afford to foul here. They're off the mark again, the Taipans, and a whistle on the play. It's going to be a 3rd team foul on the Taipans in this quarter.
Well, it looks like on the offensive end, they're really trying to just get a switching action and then just attack Daniel Johnson. And that time there, Daniel Johnson did a good job sliding his feet and forced Wardenberg into that step back fadeaway. Poor shot.
So another opportunity for Adelaide to put their noses back in front. And McCarron picks up the dribble, finds Sunday Detch. And they clear out for him in a mismatch with Wardenberg. Takes him on. Tough shot. Wardenberg did well. Kept alive. Offensive rebound and the putback from Cleveland. And Adelaide are in front for the first time since the opening 90 seconds of the game.
I can't believe it.
Well, the Taipans being hustled here. And the fans starting to find their voice in Adelaide. Taipans have led for 99% of this game, but they trail here inside the last minute. Adelaide can't afford to foul. McCall has been doing it all for them. Got Franks in the air, can't convert. Now, Tajir McCall is off to the free throw line. He's only a 50% free throw shooter.
straight up and down, didn't he?
Well, I'm saying.
And this is where one you'd perhaps like to have your challenge, but he used that a little earlier on, and so he no longer has it.
If you jump straight up and you land straight down, you've got it. It's one thing to take the shooter, another thing for the shooter to go forward into you, as he did there on the video, right?
Hey.
I know you're not looking at it, but I'm just saying.
True, but I think he did come down, and then it was a little stagger forward. Now we're splitting hairs here.
That looked straight up and straight down.
Well, he did, but then when he landed, it was that little step forward that really probably didn't justify a foul, but McCall comes to the line and knocks it down. Gee, they've put a lot of faith in McCall in this second half. He's been over the place with some of his decision-making, but the bottom line is he's got 23 points, 8 of 13 from the field.
He really has powered them here late in the game as well. So we're tied at 75. 40 seconds on the clock as McCarron rushes up the floor. Battled by Bull-Quoll, lost control. Ball trickles out of court. Taipans will get possession. McCall has 8 points in this final quarter out of the 12 that Cairns have scored.
Yep, that's a foul. That's a foul they missed. Right leg sticks out. Mitch McCarron can hardly breathe. Nice little S-bend in the nose.
After that incident in the third quarter. So they'll milk the clock for Taipans here. Shot clock is going to be 9 seconds inside the game clock. As McCall exploring. They go to the danger man. Hogue, top of the key. This time can't connect, and a chance for Adelaide to seal it. After trailing for 99% of the game, Adelaide and Cairns with a foul to give.
Smart foul, smart foul.
But now they have 14 fouls, and we've got 3.7 on the clock for Adelaide.
And they got a timeout, and they're going to take it. So they'll draw up the last play, and just offense completely drying up in the second half for the Cairns Taipans. They've only had 28 points in the entire second half, 16 in the third, 12 in the fourth, and they've really limped to the line here. Momentum all going the Adelaide 36ers way.
So timeout call. As you can see, we've adjusted the clock, 4.4. 7 teams in the Hungry Jacks NBL this season have come from double figures down to win. Adelaide is not one of them. But are they going to change that here? Because this has been something remarkable, really, when you consider they were down 15 in the opening quarter, by as many as 19 in the second, by 17 in the third, and still it was a double-figure 11-point margin. They were down with 7 minutes to play. And here we are, tied at 75.
Either way, Cairns win or lose, they should be a little bit disappointed in the way they played the second half, because some of the decision making, to me, it's just crazy. I mean, some of the passes, trying to score 1-on-2, throwing the ball away, just not smart basketball, especially when you got that kind of lead going into the fourth quarter game.
Well, that's right. Big play coming up. I think you got to go through Antonius Cleveland.
Cairns, of course, played overtime in their last game.
Cleveland's inbounding. Might be a little gets action coming back straight off it.
Adelaide for the win. They start to Franks, who puts it on the deck. Oh,
great defense. That's
drawn a foul. McCall wants a challenge, and I'd be surprised if
you have to.
You have to.
Just
if
risk
Adam
it.
Ford doesn't go to it.
That looked like it was clean, though.
If not, it's
on the second attempt to the shot.
On the second attempt.
Elbow.
That's right. So I mean, we'll get a look at the replay, but
the first one looked clean.
Yeah, I don't think that's not the issue. It's the next one that he goes up with.
Yep, good call.
And he's going to the line to shoot 3. So it's not that all ball there.
Right there, yep.
And based on what we've seen this season, there's not a chance. There's no chance of this being overruled.
Don't say that, Gazy. Don't say that.
The mere fact I said that gives them a chance because my record is poor. But I don't think that's a foul. He's reached in here, clean. Nothing to see here. There,
right
bang.
there, yep, got it.
Has to stand.
Yep.
It's a foul.
You've seen very confident, Joey.
He's feeling good.
He's feeling good about it.
Well, now it's up to just got to make it. How much time left on the clock as well? When was the foul?
Okay, broadcast is ready. The call on the court stand. You got 3 shots, Franks.
Well, he's 4 of 4 from the free throw line tonight, Robert Franks, 70% on the season, and he's walking to the stripe here with 2.3 seconds on the clock to put Adelaide in front.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If Adelaide sneak this one out, Cairns need to be a little bit disappointed in themselves.
Not a little bit. I think they need to be significantly disappointed in themselves because there was a few moments, and give Adelaide 36 some credit. They've been able to hold this team. They had 47 in the first half and only got 28 in the second. So they've really cranked it up on the defensive end. But just a few moments and some sloppy turnovers by the Cairns Taipans that there was some moments there they really could have extended the lead and weren't able to push it out to where you get a little bit more comfortable.
User-friendly roll for Robert Franks to put Adelaide in front. First of 3.
No timeouts left either case, so this has to be a quick inbound and a shot. MVP, well maybe, but when you're 3 of 18 on the night, perhaps not in this game, that's for sure.
Well, Cleveland's been the man tonight. Season high 23 for him. 8 boards, 4 assists. Without him, they wouldn't be in this position. But here they are in front with 2.3 seconds left on the clock, and the Taipans needing to go coast to coast. Adelaide by 3.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
So Cairns, have they got a 3 in them to force overtime? They're not going to get there, and the Adelaide 36ers have prevailed in the...
He
travelled.
Biggest comeback this season.
He did, and they've called it. It's going to be a second put back on the clock. Cleveland.
It's not over yet.
There's just been some brain fakes here by players.
They're taking clock. It was already tied.
Well, they're saying that it might have been touched when the inbound, but even then, there'd be a little bit of time left, you'd think.
Enough time
to just hold the ball.
It's had a bit of everything in this one. A remarkable finish.
1.4 seconds.
1.4 is going to be put back on.
That's enough time to get up a shot. The way things are going tonight, nothing but net.
Here it is here. There it is there. Travel. What are you doing?
Oh, my God.
So we're going to adjust the clock here to 1.3.
What are you thinking?
Remembering that 2 of the last 3 games in the NBL have finished in overtime.
You know what, if I'm here right now, I've got Kai Soto checking into the game and you're having his...
There he is.
Oh, there we go. So you have his length on the inbounder to make it a really tough inbounds pass.
Well, I don't want to foul Adelaide. Both teams in the bonus. To the Taipans with one last roll of the dice.
Give up the layup. They need a 3. There it is. There it is.
Oh, just falls short, and Adelaide have prevailed in a remarkable night. The 36ers have scored the biggest comeback win of the season. Down 19, they win it by 3. Adelaide 78, Cairns 75.
Well, one of the more unusual games we've seen this season. The Cairns Taipans for 3/4 of that game seem well in control in their grasp. And then the Adelaide 36ers crank up their defense, become disruptive on the defensive end, get out in transition, give themselves a chance to win, and then some some of the most harebrained plays we've seen in a long time. And somehow or other, the Adelaide 36ers, after really not playing well for most of that game, come away with a home win on the back of Antonius Cleveland with 23 points leading the way.
Yep, he had 8 rebounds, 4 assists as well for our Foot Locker player of the game performance from Antonius Cleveland. What? And they're talking about the Sydney game coming up on Sunday already. A remarkable comeback win for the Adelaide 36ers, who look down and out. But they have got the better here of the Taipans and win it by 3 in a thriller. We'll be back with more from Adelaide right after this. It was a wild ride in Adelaide tonight. The Cairns Taipans led it big for 90% of the game. And right at the end, there was still some strange things going on. But Adelaide have prevailed here by 3, 78-75. How did they do that, Coach?
I don't know. Look, and although Adelaide got the win, they can't be happy with themselves. They didn't play great basketball, but anytime you win like this, sometimes it can galvanize a team, and hopefully that'll get them going, kickstart them to go.
And what a performance by our Foot Locker player of the game, Antonius Cleveland.
Yeah, well, when they were really struggling, he was able to keep that scoreboard ticking over for him, plays with a lot of energy, and he came up big down in that first half. That was his very first bucket, a real tough one at that. And then he runs the floor so well. He's an elite athlete, but the other thing that is a really telling factor is what he did on DJ Ho. Held him to only 7 points, 3 of 7 from the field. And what he can do on the defensive end, and so versatile. He can guard multiple positions. When he gets out in the open court, there's not too many better than Antonius Cleveland. And you look at the numbers, 10 of 18 from the field, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and just an honourable mention, and I mentioned it throughout the game too. I also think Sunday Dech, he came on and really was a game changer. The stats won't jump off the page, but really good.
Well, certainly was an entertaining affair. Trust you've enjoyed our coverage here on the Hungry Jacks NBL Friday night. We'll do it again tomorrow. New Zealand versus Perth. The Phoenix host Melbourne as well on the throwdown. But on behalf of Andrew Gaze, Leonard Copeland, Aaron Phillips, the Scoreside, and all the hard-working crew, I'm John Casey. We'll see you again soon in the NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.